Well, I'm going to talk to you about Wetherspoons, my favourite place. I'll be popping there after this. So Tim Martin, the pub landlord extraordinaire, he's been knighted. And the pearl-clutching Remoaner bigots are having a collective meltdown. You'd think he'd claimed that he'd turned water to wine as opposed to being successful at selling it. This NHS nurse's account on Twitter, bless their hearts, they can't seem to wrap their heads around why a bloke who's made it possible to buy a pint in London for less than the price of a designer latte deserves a knighthood. Perhaps they're too busy navigating the labyrinth bureaucracy of the NHS to notice the real world outside. So Tim's not just running pubs, he's actually running social hubs in a society still reeling from state-enforced isolation. Places where real people can gather, places where the elderly can escape the cold and enjoy endless coffees without eviscerating their pensions, places where thousands of young people get a start in the working world. And let's not forget taxes. Wetherspoon has paid £5.8 billion of tax to the Exchequer in the last 10 years, contributing to the very institution that these snipers work for. Maybe that's why they're so upset. Maybe it's hard to face the fact that a proud patriot and Brexiteer is bankrolling their salaries. Had Sir Tim been an EU obsessive, he'd be lauded as a visionary, a sensible chap, the right sort. But because he had the audacity to back Brexit, he's suddenly the villain of the piece. It's as predictable as it is pathetic. In conclusion, folks, I say hats off to Sir Tim Martin. In a world full of virtue-signalling charlatans, he stands out as a beacon of common sense and real achievement. This weekend, I'm going to raise one of these post-Brexit pints of fizz to him. Now, Benjamin Butterworth, I heard you this morning actually surprised me, to be honest, because you said, actually, I think Sir Tim Martin probably, it's all right that he's got a knighthood.
I mean, look, what I think is great about Wetherspoon is that they keep old buildings beautiful and they do an amazing job. So Wetherspoon's pubs are truly beautiful. So, look, I'm grateful for that. And he employs tens of thousands of people, I think 40,000 people. So, fine. But the truth is that basically this desperate Tory government will give a gong to anybody who keeps up the Brexit lie. The fact is, you go in Wetherspoon, your pint of whatever, your pint of wine is going to be more expensive because of Brexit. And when we had the COVID pandemic, here was a guy that cares so much about the working class that he told his own long-serving employees to leave, I was nearly going to say something else, to leave and go and get a job in Tesco if they didn't like what they were getting at Wetherspoon. That's hardly a man of a people.
The point that he was making on go work in Tesco was actually that these key frontline jobs, the front line was in shops like that, where people needed essential goods and services. And he was saying, there's no point being on furlough here, go take up the jobs that are important and necessary. And on the other point, actually, Wetherspoons doesn't stock French crap anymore. So
it's wine?
Yes, it's not. It's actually lower prices because they are importing them from elsewhere. That's a post-Brexit opportunity.
I mean, I don't know why they say it's a Brexit opportunity. I've been drinking pints of wine for years.
Ben Leo, are you sold on Tim Martin getting a...
I'm going to be... Well, look, first of all, I'm glad that it's wound up all the right people. All we needed was a Nigel Farage knighthood for services to reality TV, and we'd be on our way, wouldn't we? But I'm going to be very diplomatic about this. I understand some people will approve of knighthood, some people would wouldn't approve. For example, I'm a bit miffed about Mary Earps getting a gong, the COVID scientist who...
Because she's a woman.
Yeah, oh, yeah, because she's a woman. You've got me. There we go.
One of the most successful female footballers we ever produced.
Sorry, what did she win in the last couple of years?
Oh, right, sorry.
She won.
What did she win?
She won quite a few things.
She's got through quite a few finals, but sorry.
No. What's she won? A male footballer wouldn't get the same privilege.
Name the blokes that have won the World Cup that have got knighted recently, because none of those footballers won anything.
Sorry,
you're just a misogynist.
Sorry, you've just shown your ignorance in sport. Then you cannot compare the women's game to the men's game. The World Cup winners
coming out now.
Sorry, well, she has won quite a few things.
Listen to this: the USA World Cup winning team played Dallas schoolboys under 15s, and they got thrashed 5-2. That same team, even this year, I think, played Wrexham retirees who are all knocking on 60. Wrexham did them about 10-0. So you cannot compare the women's pro game to the pro men's game.
Well, I think you can actually. I'm going to take exception
You
to
can't,
that.
Anna, sorry.
No, I can, and I will. Because of do you know how difficult it is for women to actually get somewhere in sport, especially when something is mainly male-dominated?
Yeah, because they're not going to Wetherspoons.
I'm going to say fair enough to her for getting that. And actually, she has won quite a few awards. There's a list of awards that she's won. I didn't write
She won the Golden Glove. She won some other sports. She won the sports.
But you said that
she's not won football. She's not won football trophies. She won the Euros about 3-4 years ago. But this is more recently. No, this gong is more recently to do with her campaign in getting Nike to make football shirts. I will give Mary Earps and the women's football team credit for improving women's football. Arsenal played Chelsea.
So is that not
was that not enough?
Is that not worth an honour, in your opinion?
No.
Why?
What do you need? What more does she need to do?
Yeah, I think services to women's football is worth a damehood.
Sorry,
Yes,
we used to give damehoods and knighthoods to Olympic gold-winning medalists, and people.
Well, there's not much difference between that. She has stood out as a woman who has done something exceptional and opened the game to other women who will see.
It's not exceptional just doing your job. Sorry.
No, but that's
well,
what
you're
most
not
of these
exceptional
people
doing your job.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why I've not got a knighthood. I'm not in the New Year's
Well, you're not
honours.
going to get one ever.
But on Sir Tim Martin, what do you make of that?
Well, I take exception to him because I'm glad that he got this thing, but he needs to put music in his pubs, for God's sake. I mean, what's he thinking? I go in there and I'm like, this is so dry, the music. Put music in the pub, for God's sake.
Also,
what's wrong with you,
banned.
Tim?
Did you know that? Dogs are banned.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Good. I don't.
That's good. I'm sorry. Animals don't like me.
You know, coming up when you're trying to just enjoy a nice, I was about to say nice beer. I don't drink beer, obviously. A nice glass of something cold and a dog's at your feet.
Are you such a metropolitan elitist that you don't drink lager? Yes.
Exactly.
Outed.
Totally right there.
I'll be on the original pint.
Yes.
Because we've veered somewhat off. Poor Mary, she's had a right go. But what did you make about Wetherspoons being a worthy recipient?
Look, I think it is a worthy recipient. It's one of the most successful businesses in the country. So Tim Martin is obviously a very successful businessman. I appreciate he didn't vote in the same way that people wanted him during the Brexit referendum, but who cares? We've moved on from that. That'll be 8 years ago.
Well, we clearly
this
haven't,
summer.
though.
We need to move on from it because Sir Tim Martin is a worthy winner of this gong. I also think it was really good to see people like Sir Michael Eavis, who is, of course, the founder of Glastonbury, be honoured as well. Although I think the announcement, everyone thought he might have died or something.
Yes, I thought
when
that.
we were looking at it. But overall, I think the honours list is a good one. Liz Truss's honours, though, should she have got them?
No,
I'm
not
sure.
at all. My controversial opinion on this isn't that just that Liz Truss shouldn't have got them, but Dame Shirley Bassey has been put in that group of 65 where someone has to die for a place to come up. And I'm sorry, but what has Dame Shirley Bassey done to be one of the most 65 influential people?
What are you talking about?
I'm not being funny, but
35 million record.
Oh, get over
Come
it.
on, what do you need to
What's she
do?
done in recent years? Shuffling on stage at the Royal Albert Hall to go on about
we went
diamonds.
down a Mary rabbit hole. I'm not having this to descend down a Dame Shirley Bassey rabbit hole.